Yes, Pakistan International Airlines Flight 8303 is a tragic event. The crash on May 22, 2020, resulted in the loss of 97 lives, and only 2 passengers survived. The flight, which was en route from Lahore to Karachi, experienced difficulties during its final approach. The aircraft, an Airbus A320, had suffered a failure of its landing gear, which caused the crew to attempt a second landing after the first attempt was unsuccessful. The crash occurred in a densely populated area, Model Colony, and caused significant damage to both the aircraft and the surrounding structures. The investigation later pointed out a range of contributing factors, including human error, technical issues, and lapses in communication. The incident was particularly devastating as it highlighted both safety concerns within PIA and broader issues related to aviation safety standards in Pakistan. The final report from the Pakistani Civil Aviation Authority, PCAA, suggested that the pilots did not follow the standard operating procedures, contributing to the crash. It also led to public outcry and calls for reforms in the country's aviation sector. The crash of PIA Flight 8303 in Karachi was attributed to several systemic issues within the airline and broader aviation practices in Pakistan. The investigation into the disaster pointed to both technical and human factors that contributed to the accident. Here are some key issues related to Pakistan International Airlines, PIA, and the crash. Friedrich 1. Pilot error. One of the most critical factors highlighted in the investigation was pilot error. The report revealed that the pilots made several critical mistakes during the flight's final approach. Failure to extend landing gear. The flight crew attempted to land without extending the landing gear, which caused the aircraft to touch the runway belly first, resulting in sparks and damage to the engines. Despite warnings from the aircraft's warning system, the pilots failed to address the landing gear issue before the second landing attempt. Poor decision-making. The pilots ignored standard operating procedures and did not abort the landing attempt when it became clear that the gear was not deployed. They also did not follow proper protocols for troubleshooting. 2. Lack of adequate training and experience. The investigation found that some of the flight crew lacked sufficient experience, particularly in handling emergencies. The captain, who was relatively experienced, was said to have been fatigued and potentially distracted during the flight. The first officer was relatively inexperienced, with only a few hundred hours of flight time on the Airbus A320, which contributed to a breakdown in decision-making. 3. Aviation safety standards in Pakistan. The broader safety culture and regulatory oversight within Pakistan's aviation sector were also called into question. The crash highlighted ongoing concerns regarding pilot qualifications. A scandal involving pilots' qualifications came to light shortly after the crash. Many pilots were found to have forged or questionable credentials, with some not meeting the required flight experience standards. This raised serious concerns about the overall competence of flight crews. Airline management and oversight. Pakistan International Airlines, which has faced financial and operational difficulties over the years, was criticized for its lack of attention to safety protocols, training, and regular maintenance of aircraft. Additionally, the Pakistani Aviation Authority was found to have inadequate oversight in ensuring safety practices were being followed. 4. Mechanical and technical issues. While the main cause of the crash was pilot error, there were also questions raised about the aircraft's technical performance and the maintenance processes in PIA. However, the investigation did not find any direct mechanical failure that led to the crash.